Sahih al-Bukhari 115. Book 3, Hadith 57. Narrated Salama. One night Allah's Messenger got up and said, Subhanallah. How many afflictions have been descended tonight and how many treasures have been disclosed? Go and wake the sleeping lady occupants of these dwellings, his wives, up, for prayers. A well-dressed soul in this world may be naked in the hereafter. Sahih al-Bukhari 116. Book 3, Hadith 58. Narrated Abdullah bin Umar. Once the Prophet led us in the Isha prayer during the last days of his life, and after finishing it, the prayer, with Taslim, he said, "Do you realize the importance of this night? Nobody present on the surface of the earth tonight will be living after the completion of 100 years from this night." Sahih al-Bukhari 117. Book 3, Hadith 59. Narrated Ibn Abbas. I stayed overnight in the house of my aunt Maymuna bint al-Harith, the wife of the Prophet, while the Prophet was there with her during her night turn. The Prophet offered the Isha prayer in the mosque, returned home, and after having prayed 4 rakat, he slept. Later on he got up at night and then asked whether the boy, or he used a similar word, had slept. Then he got up for the prayer and I stood up by his left side, but he made me stand to his right and offered 5 rakat followed by 2 more rakat. Then he slept and I heard him snoring, and then, after a while, he left for the far prayer. As indicated in the hadith above, that we Muslims are supposed to wake up in the night and pray tahajjud, but alas, we keep on sleeping, and yes, we do try, but we normally do fail. Allah's apostle used to be regular in his prayers, and we can try our best. If someone makes a habit of daily prayer, it is great for that person, but since we are humans and Allah knows that it is very hard for us, we have advantage of this and we can pray sometimes and make that a regular habit, like once a week, once a month, or once in every 2 months, and so on. We can do that. As Allah Almighty knows that we are weak and flawed, and He has given us edge of making an effort, these efforts are the only thing that will save us from the hellfire. Allah Apostle didn't need these prayers, but he prayed anyways for the reason of thanking Allah Almighty, and his companions tried to do the same, and they were told by him, paraphrasing, that it is hard for us, so we are allowed to slack off a little bit, but it doesn't mean that we allowed to leave everything. What we must do is effort, for it is all Allah Almighty require of us to save us from the hellfire. We should not be under the impression that we are going to be forgiven without any effort made from us. Effort is the only thing that is required from us. We have seen many people who want to come to pray to masajid but that can't, but we have to ask ourselves that either we are trying hard enough, as we know that this world is temporary and what is permanent is beyond our death. So we should try our best selves to work for our hereafter and give it all we can, as this is all we can do. We can start by praying once a day in masjid and keep it regular. If you are feeling burdened by it, then pray at home/office, but the main effort will be that we are regular on it. No matter if we have an important meeting, an important sale, important client, or any important guests present, if it is time for your prayer, force yourself to pray instead of thinking that I will do it later on. If it is done at a later time, then the habit that you have been building will be damaged, and we have to ask for Allah's forgiveness for our tardiness. We should try our best to be regular in any activity which we are performing for Allah Almighty. May Allah grant us strength to be regular in our prayers so that our hereafter would be in Jannah.